Also, we have an update on the Katy superintendent story. Just to remind you of what this story is all about. It's fascinating. Last week, was it last week now, or maybe even the week before?
Yeah, it was last week, yeah.
Okay, last week, Katy resident Greg Barrett was speaking to the Katy ISD school board, including Superintendent Lance Hint, about bullying. Here's what happened.
My name is Greg Barrett. I graduated from KSD in 1983. I started in 1975 with Mr. Lance. My legal name is Greg Gay. I was bullied, unbelievably bullied. I started out and I had teachers that bullied me. I had kids that bullied me.
Jeez.
Even the coaches. I had nobody to turn to. One day at lunch, I had my head shoved in the urinal where it busted my lip. I had laid on the ground in a fetal position as the kids kicked me. I got up, I rinsed my face off, I walked out of the lunchroom, walked straight to the principal's office, and he told me, these kids will grow up someday. They won't always be like this. But yet, here I am, covered in urine from laying on the ground underneath the urinal. My lip was busted, and they sent me home. Well, I went home, and I got the .45 out of my father's drawer and put it in my mouth. Because at this point, I had nobody in the school system to help me. Is that the way this is going to be? Lance, you were the one that shoved my head in the urinal.
Whew. Lance, of course, the superintendent of schools at Katy ISD.
Mic drop.
Which is exactly what he did. And pretty amazing. In addition to Lance, what an indictment on that principal at the time. Hey, you know what, Greg, these kids won't always be this way. Oh, thank you.
Cool.
What a relief that is.
Ooh,
that helps. That makes me feel a lot better. Thank you.
Oh, good.
So at some point, they'll grow up when they're 30 years old, and I won't have to worry about it anymore. Okay.
Exactly his point.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate the help there. What a horrible story that is. And, the superintendent, it seems like he laughed at the end there. You hear him giggle. Now, the other school board members say, oh, he didn't laugh. He was shocked. He was shocked. So here was his response.
While I understand the perception, please know my reaction this past Monday night was one of shock. It wasn't one of disrespect or insensitivity. I was purely shocked.
About what? What are you shocked about?
To the hometown that raised me and where I now proudly serve, I regret the negative attention that's been brought to this community in the past week.
Okay.
Ultimately,
here we go.
Ultimately, I'll be judged by one person.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that is God, my Lord and Savior.
What does that have? I don't understand.
That's who will judge me.
Okay, I don't know what that has to do with anything, Lance. Hey, Lance, that's not the point here, okay? You're right about that. Ultimately, we're not talking about ultimately. This isn't about your eternal reward or punishment. That's not what we're talking about. Right now, the kind of the issue is whether a bully should head up this school district. That's the issue here at hand, not your ultimate reward or punishment. That's not what we're dealing with, Lance. Pathetic. What are you shocked about? That you were a bully when everybody in that town knows he was a bully. There's been witness after witness to come forward, including a circuit judge in Alabama who backed up this story. Now, he denies it. This is the same guy who is driving his girlfriend home after a drug and alcohol party, and he's racing through a neighborhood, and a guy who had just gotten home with his wife after having dinner with her gets out of the car and says, "Hey, stop speeding." He slams on his brakes, backs up, comes over, and beats the guy into a coma. Same guy, Lance Hint.